So, welcome back, guys. This is an episode of Pillow Talk, and we're gonna be talking about an interesting topic, an interesting thought. Okay, so the concept is a hoe on a leash.
Oh, on a leash.
We were having a conversation, and you always say, "Oh, I like hoes,"
I love hoes.
but
I love hoes.
you don't want a hoe you don't want a sneaky hoe. You don't want.
I saw a post on Twitter a while back. It said men respect honest hoes, they don't respect sneaky hoes. And that's 100% true. I love hoes. I don't like a chick that is a hoe, but tells you she's not a hoe.
You don't want a hoe that's not owning up to her hoe shit. Okay, so that's what I get it. So the idea that I thought about was like a hoe on a leash, being that you're in a relationship, Jesus, right? But you're allowed to
Be wild.
be who you want to be a hoe, but it's in the confines and restrictions of your partner. Like, recently, we came up with this concept, and I don't know if everybody's gonna agree, but this is us, so it's new and it's still in like, there's rules and there's like restrictions as well as like activities that we are allowed to partake in under the guidance of your partner. So like if he says, I want you to do this, this, and that, I'm allowed to do this, this, and that because he has given me the okay to
I
do
gave
this,
the
this,
green
and that.
light, right.
I feel like why I like the idea of a hoe on a leash, because it allows you to not feel like you're doing something wrong. And it's kind of a hard concept to grasp when you're like in a relationship, because we've all grown up and think that monogamy is the way we're supposed to go.
Right,
So
right.
it still feels like, is my partner gonna be okay with this in a sense, right?
Right.
Like, are they genuinely gonna be like, and I feel like that's one of the things I struggle with is like, is he really gonna be okay
Right.
with me doing something or me telling you like, this is what I want and this is what I want to do? So if it's like, you battle with that, but I feel like once you get past that like idea, and that the main thing is like communication with your partner when you're like getting into the kink world, when you're getting into the fetish world, when you're just trying to explore yourself or trying to explore things that you're into, you should like always communicate. And I feel like our ventures are fairly new, so we're still trying to navigate like what's okay and what's not okay, and what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. Okay, so as a guy, right?
Right.
Because I know a lot of men are probably like thinking like, how can I get my girl to do this? Because I know people watch us and they'd be like, oh, I wish my girl would do such and such. So what kind of advice would you give?
I think it's if that's something you gotta build a space where she's comfortable and feels safe enough to talk to you about that type of thing. And you understand if she's really into that, you gotta find out if she's really into that, because she might do it just because she thinks you want her to do it, and that's not good. If she's really into it, then okay. But if she's doing it just to please you, it's gonna backfire at some point in time.
And that's another thing. I think like I want to like tell people don't do things because you think that your partner is okay with it, because this is like that level of miscommunication can cause like so much friction.
Right.
Express what you want, express what you like, express what you need, how you feeling, because we can't read each other's minds.
Right.
So I don't know if that's not something you like, and you don't know if it's not something I like, and I'm over here doing something that you want, thinking, hey, he's into that,
But
and
it's
whole
not,
time,
it's not mutual.
yeah. So the whole concept to me too, I feel like, because you know it falls under the hot wife and all that good stuff. I feel like the whole concept to me creates a little bit more, like I'm still trying to understand like myself and understand what I want and what I want to do and how I want to go about certain things. So I feel like the concept to me is like a little more freeing when you feel like, okay, it's not a perfect situation,
Right.
but I can express to my partner, hey, I want to try it. Every girl has had the desire to have two guys at one point in time. And you don't want to feel like your partner,
It's stifling you.
it's not even stifling. It's like, how am I supposed to express this without feeling,
Judge.
yeah, like, oh my God, is he going to be mad? Is he going to feel like he's not enough? Is he going to feel bad?
That's something that we gotta, as men, gotta get over. Like you gotta build your security up. You can't be insecure about it. I think it's empowering, you know. Once you get past that point of like feeling, oh, I feel insignificant because she wants more. That's not what it is. Because you want more. You want a threesome with two girls. She might feel the same way that you probably felt, but it's not really that.
And I feel like it shouldn't be selfish. The
Right.
same things that you want,
You need to give to your partner as well. That's how you have a healthy.
you should allow your partner to experience too. Maybe that's something they might want. Maybe that's something they might not want.
But you gotta leave.
But
that
you won't
open.
know until you try. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, like, you guys are so comfortable and this, that, and the third. Like, we talk a lot. Like, we talk a lot about, like, things that we want to do. We, like, communicate a lot. And it's like, it's never perfect. I don't want people to be, like, look at us and idealize, like, oh, I want their, like, relationship. Don't do that.
No.
Try to create your own safe space and, like,
Because we have some hard conversations.
it's not always peaches and cream. It's not always like, oh my gosh, like this is great. I feel like the reason that it works for us is because we give each other grace and we allow each other to like, okay.
So what you mean by grace?
I feel like grace is like, all right, you fucked up.
We've had hella grace.
I've had hella grace. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt that you're not gonna do it again. Only with the idea and the knowledge of that, like, I'm gonna like work on it and fix it. Cause I feel like sometimes you fuck up and it's not like, I'm not gonna say it's not on purpose because I feel like every fuck up is on purpose.
Every fuck up is
So
something
people be like, oh, it's on accident. It's not on accident. I feel like it's on purpose. But the state of mind that you were in when you did what you did, you have to evaluate why you was in that state of mind when you did what you did and what was the reason for that. And if you can address what the reason was and you can figure out like, hey, I did this because of this and like, I don't want this to happen again. So let's try to figure out how we can avoid that. And then work from that. Because relationships are not easy. And I feel like people think that when they get into the kink world, it's supposed to save
your relationship.
And I'm like,
You still have
that's
them hurdles,
not the case.
If anything, you have new hurdles to deal with.
Yeah, you still have to have like a secure like bond. You still have to have a proper foundation before you get into this. Don't get into kink or like any of these things without knowing
What you're dealing with.
what you're dealing with, because it's never peaches and cream. It's not always gonna be like the best. Sometimes you're gonna experience something that you didn't like, but your partner did.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't stifle their experience because you didn't like it.
Right.
You gotta like be willing to be like, all right, cool. I understand that this is something that you like, and all right.
Right.
But
And that's hard, you know. That comes down to you trying to be more open-minded with yourself.
and I think it comes down to self-confidence
Right.
and knowing that like even though you're experiencing something new somewhere else or like doing something, you still have to understand like this is home.
Right.
This is a safety net. What you're experiencing. Oh, and this is the next thing. Sometimes people get confused with lust and love. Like, yes, you're having fun and you're engaging with somebody and you guys are like having a moment. But you gotta remember, like, just because it feel good, don't mean
it's
it's
gonna be
like
lasting. It's not lasting.
it's the best thing in the world.
It's
Like,
a moment.
have your moment, enjoy yourself, but remember, like,
It's definitely just a moment.
it's definitely just a moment. And just because it feels great, it's like that's the honeymoon phase of everything. Everything new feels great because it's new.
Once
And
that
it's-
shit settle anyway, yo, this person ain't shit.
And it's not even this person ain't shit. It's this person doesn't know me
Right.
the way my partner knows me.
Right.
For example, by a text message alone, you know whether or not I'm pissed off.
Oh yeah.
By the way I reply to a text message, you know whether or not I'm upset. And sometimes it's kind of like annoying because I've been trying to keep my feelings to myself.
But I know.
And I'm like,
Because I know this person. It's like that's my
and he'll be
person.
like, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing. He'll be like, yo, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, damn, like I gotta say it now because now he already knows something's up. So I can't even be like, no, I'm cool, I'm fine. Because automatically knows. I feel like at the end of the day, it all boils down to communication.
Right.
I feel like that whole concept of being a hoe on a leash, I remember I spoke about it on Instagram. I asked a couple people, and a lot of people kept saying that trust is the main like concept for that. Because you can do a lot of things, but if you don't trust that your partner is gonna respect your boundaries,
I think trust and loyalty is the most important thing when it comes to this type of lifestyle. It's like, yo, I need to trust that, you know, you won't take it past this moment, and that, you know, if this person isn't gonna make you,
question home.
you're right.
It's
Right.
not gonna make you change your mind and be like, oh, because to be honest with you, the grass is green when you water it. You can have the best one night of your life, but this person, you gotta remember, this person don't know you like when you're going through shit, when you're struggling, when you don't have it, when you're feeling like shit. Like they don't know you like that. They know.
Here's a question. How did you feel in our first threesome versus our last threesome? And I'll tell you how.
Our very first experience, I was kind of like I didn't know what to expect only because I was just like, I know that I'm into girls too. And it was like, do I just be myself? Do I just interact the way I know I would normally do?
Right.
Do I like do what I want? And then I started thinking about, is he enjoying me the same way he enjoys her? Is this gonna be weird afterwards? And I started thinking all these thoughts, but then what made me feel comfortable in the moment
What?
was that you engaged both of us. It was never, it never, you saw that video where it was like, the girl was like on the side and the guy
she
is
was
over
watching
there.
Homeboy.
And it's like you're just watching.
Yeah.
I never felt like that. I didn't feel like, what the hell is going on? Like, I'm a third wheel. I didn't feel like a third wheel. I felt engaged. And like, I think the main thing for me was just getting out of your head and stop overthinking. But I just was like, okay, let's just breathe. Like, it's not that serious, and just focus on the moment. But at first I was like thinking a lot about like how your experience was. Cause
I think I asked the wrong question. But I like the answer you gave me, but I think I should have asked because our first boy girl, it wasn't really it. It wasn't really it. I should have asked your first scene with somebody other than me.
okay,
That's a better question.
my
Versus and my first scene with someone other than you.
my sexual experiences with you are like a 10. So, and it's been a 10 for a long time. We've been together a long time. So, I guess I have a high standard when it comes to what I like and what I expect from another person because of what I'm used to. So when I had it, I was like, hold on. It's not giving what I thought it would have gave. It wasn't as great as I thought. And I just was like, I could have just did this for just the two of us and it'd be fine. Like, it didn't hit the way I expected it to.
For me, watching your first scene with somebody else, I won't even hold you. I was a little like, I was bothered. Why the fuck why she moaning like that? Fuck she go over, her eyes rolling back like that. You're not even doing that. Versus like your last one, I'm like, yo, like crack her shit. You know? It's a growth.
And for me too, like my first experience with you with somebody else, I was like, why are you so free? Like, why are you so comfortable?
Right.
But now, like even now, you'd be like, why you be sitting there cheesing like God?
Yeah, because like, why you watching me?
Because I'm genuinely like intrigued in like what's going on and like seeing you enjoy yourself and seeing somebody else enjoy you. Like I mean, like yeah, it's cool. Like I don't feel any kind of way because I know that it's within the like confines of enjoying yourself and somebody enjoying you.
Right.
As long as it's there, I'm like good. Like I enjoy watching because I'm like, I think that's called voyeurism, right?
It's voyeurism, yeah.
I want to see you, like yeah, I want to see you enjoy him. So I'm like, yeah, like I know it's like, I know some people are like, oh my God, like could never share my man with another person. Right. 9 times out of 10, you're sharing your man with another person anyways, but
For me, I like
let's be so for it.
It's like watching a porno, but it's with your person. And it's like, yo, that's...
You're not, let's be specific. I'm not sharing him with another person in an emotional sense of like being in love and having a whole different like romantic involvement.
Right.
It's more like, it's fun. We're enjoying ourselves. We've been together since we were like 21.
Early 20s.
22. So we genuinely both like grew up.
Yeah, we grew up
In our 20s together. So now, you know, everybody like, we're like, okay, let's see what else is out there. We've been together like 10 years. This is a long time. People want to experience new things, want to try new things. And I feel like
so
at first,
you come back to your partner, it's fine.
I feel like at first it looks weird because it's like, you want to try this, you want to try that, am I not good enough?
Right.
And I think that's what, in the beginning, you feel like, it's like...
You feel like less than.
Like, hey, am I not giving you enough?
Right.
But it's not about I'm not giving you enough. It's like...
Because I still want you.
Let's go down this path together.
Right.
Let's do this journey together and then see, like, where it goes, like, how... you can evolve. And it makes for great conversation.
Right.
And really talk about it. And I'm not even gonna lie to you. The interaction that we have after a session of anything happening,
Right.
for some reason, just feels like
Insane.
incredible. Like I was just like,
That reclaiming moment.
yeah, like it's like you're taking your thing back, and it just feels like refreshing. It's like, yo, like I remember the last time I didn't think I could feel the sensations that I felt. I didn't like. It just was so. Oh Lord, I just like reliving those thoughts. It was just really, really good, and I'm just like, damn, like
Right.
I like that. I like that feeling of like, yeah, come back, take your shit, just your shit, come take your shit, and it's just like, I feel like everybody should. I'm not saying that you should go out and experiment with other people. If you're not comfortable with that, cool.
Don't do it. Right.
Right? But you should, in your own confines of your relationship, experiment with your partner. There are so many other ways that you can experience stuff with toys. There's like so many other avenues like you guys can experience with each other. Don't think that it's like
Yo, you live once, man. Do what you
feel like-
gotta do, bro, and do it together.
growing up, you've been confined to think that sex is supposed to be one way and
It's not.
with one person, and we've like tried to ingrain that in other people. Like when you're with somebody, like I own you, and this is how I want you to do this, and this is how I want you to do that, and you're mine, and it's like
It's not how it is, bro.
it's like, okay, cool. But then if the person has desires and they come to you and you can't fulfill them, then like it's like
Chances are they gonna do something behind your
I
back.
just feel like
You'd
listen,
rather do it together than them do it behind your back.
that part. Because it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling for both parties involved, because you doing something wrong, you know is wrong. You know that it's gonna hurt the next person. You're trying to satisfy an urge that's there, and it's like, damn, like I know I'm hurting my partner.
Right.
And then when your partner finds out, it's like, damn, like the fuck, like
Right.
why couldn't you just say this to me?
Right.
So I feel like at the end of the day, like communication is like your biggest avenue for like just navigating kink. And back to the concept of holding a leash. I feel like I have a collar that I'm supposed to wear if I go out, if I'm engaging with other people. And I like that because it makes me feel like safe. It creates a safety net for me. And I've been dealing with a lot of uncertainty and uncomfortability and just like not knowing like where I want to like be within myself of how I want to navigate certain things. And I feel like it has slowly created like a, how do I put it? Like an anchor.
Well, let's give clarity. A hoe on a leash doesn't mean you just run free in the streets. You can run free as long as you're following, as long as your partner is aware. You know, let's make that clear. Everybody needs to be in the know, and everybody needs to be in agreement. So if you're okay with your partner being, you know, just out and doing such and such, so long as they're being safe, they can do that. So long as they're telling you, yo, it could be a simple phone call. Yo, I'm about to do such and such, with such and such. I'll be back in such and such.
Like
Cool.
for us, we have rules. I have requirements that I have to fulfill that he gives me and he wants me to do. And it's also a sub thing. So it's kind of like there's two aspects to my situation where it's like hoe on a leash, but also sub. So like I have punishments and stuff. Sometimes they're not always I don't always agree with it, but I like it because it allows me to understand like you can't keep fucking up because this is gonna keep happening. And if you don't like the punishment, then don't fuck up.
Right.
So I feel like it helps me, and I know people be like, "Oh, you probably have like mental internal trauma, like whatever the fuck." I'm dealing with it this way.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. I think it's understand that as people, we need to experience certain things while also respecting each other as people.
And I like being governed. How about that? I like the control. I like the, how do I put it? The masculinity of it. I like being told what to do and how to do it and when to do it and what. I like it. And it's like, for me, especially me, somebody who has anxiety and ADHD and doesn't know how to like, I just like help regulate all my feelings and do everything that I have to do in the day and everything that I have going on. It gives me like a set like goal. Help me focus on one thing.
And I like nasty chicks. I like a sexually liberated woman, you know. So it's like if I have no problem with you going out and doing this and that and the third, but like don't let me find out you did this and that third. You didn't tell me about it. Okay, now we having a different conversation. Like what the fuck?
And that's respectful. And that's fair. So, this is the end of that episode. We'll be back with part 2.
Right.
But for now, this is Pillow Talk. I hope you guys had a good conversation, and we can't wait to hear from you. Deuces.